Just Cause 3, developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Square Enix, is an open-world action-adventure game set in the fictional island chain of Medici. You play as Rico Rodriguez, a local hero who is trying to save his homeland from the tyrannical dictator, General Sebastiano Di Ravello. Throughout the game, your main purpose is to keep Ravello from getting his hands on the precious substance, Bavarium, which he plans to use to take over the world. Now you know what the game is about, which to be honest, doesn't matter in the slightest. The real game is in the actual gameplay. The opening sequence has you standing on top of the plane, raining bullets down on the enemy faction below. You learn pretty quickly what this game is going to be about: pure, unadulterated destruction. Most of the mechanics from the previous entries in the Just Cause series return. The parachute is back but moves more slowly, which gives you more time to aim at your enemies. The grappling hook returns as well, although with an added mechanic. You're now able to attach two items together and pull them to one another. Whether it be two vehicles or two people, it's always satisfying. The physics involved in the tethering are pretty impressive. The larger the object, the more cables you need to attach to move it. The one new addition to traversal is where the game really shines. You're now equipped with a wingsuit you can deploy at any time you're in the air. The wingsuit is my preferred method of transportation. You can use your grappling hook to pull yourself and then deploy your wingsuit to launch yourself into the air. There are a variety of ground vehicles and aircraft at your disposal, but I rarely found myself using any of them. Also new to the series are rebel drops. Basically any weapon or vehicle you come in contact with in Just Cause can be at your disposal via a rebel drop. It only costs you a flare, which are relatively easy to come across. You pull up the in-game menu and select which items you want to have delivered, and your comrades will drop a massive crate with everything inside. Items received via rebel drops are on a cooldown timer. This keeps you from spamming powerful weapons and vehicles. This seems like a fair trade-off from spending currency of some sort for equipment. Progression in Just Cause is a simple concept. You complete main story quests to move forward in your adventure, although you'll come to a point where you can no longer progress until you liberate more towns. You liberate towns by destroying various structures, billboards, loudspeakers, generators, and so on. This is where the tethering really comes into play. There isn't anything more satisfying than making a huge fuel tank fall over a group of enemies. Once a town is liberated, several new challenges will be unlocked along with a garage. See a vehicle you love? Simply drive it up to the garage in a newly liberated town, and it's now available anytime through a rebel drop. Character progression is also enjoyable without feeling too much like a grind. You have to complete challenges, which are basically time trials. You can be driving a car from point A to point B, or flying with your wingsuit through rings, or driving a vehicle riddled with explosives, trying to get to a target without dropping below a set speed, reminiscent of the movie Speed. You are awarded gears based on how well you perform. You use these gears to unlock upgrades for the equipment and vehicles Rico uses. The type of activity you do and vehicle you drive determines which skill tree the gears can be allocated to. The game runs extremely smooth and looks gorgeous on my PC, even though there seem to be issues at launch with performance. My GTX 970 hasn't had a bit of trouble running the game at 60 frames per second. The world is vibrant with color and life. There are many times I was gliding from one town to another, just admiring the scenery. Probably the most satisfying visuals in the game are the explosions, and there are plenty to go around. Overall, Just Cause 3 is a fantastic addition to a well-beloved series. The story really doesn't have legs, and I personally couldn't care less about the characters, although they had their entertaining moments. The real draw to this game is the complete and utter chaos you can cause. I don't think fans of the series will be at all disappointed. There's also a great deal for first-timers to enjoy. Considering the story is completely forgettable, a new player won't be missing out by jumping in headfirst.
This is dispatch. Request received. Reinforcements en route.